Sorry, but I think insanity mode is slowly kicking in again because I just can't get properly through the intro, so it might get a little bit rough and either you will love it or hate it. I'm okay with the dislike, but already talking about hate, I kinda get that I might seem like a Samsung hater this year compared to last year where so many people said I am a Samsung fanboy. But I don't think at all that I'm just too hot on Samsung devices alone this year, but on all 2017 devices in general. And the reason, in my opinion, is just that I think the value in 2016 all around was just so much better. And that's why I will give you an easy, painless, one-sentence conclusion on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S3. If you like the approach of this tablet, and you don't need the S Pen, then just go for the Tab S2. Because that one, especially now with the lower price, I have no problems at all recommending. But the Tab S3 is something a little bit different and we should talk about it. And yes, there will be a lot of autofocus issues, same as the ones that I have today with talking. Okay, but as you can already see, this device is super thin and is also super lightweight. And with the glass on the back and the one on the front, it is actually also very premium in my opinion. It feels just great. Absolutely top notch. Of course, it will attract a lot of fingerprints on the back, but that's fine with me. But what I'm not so fine with is the actual button placement. Because so many times when I just wanted to change the volume, I hit the power button. So they should have just switched it around or put it somewhere else. Because already talking about accidental hits, the same also goes here for the capacitive buttons. Because this is where I usually put my thumb. And so many times I just hit the back button or maybe the home button. It's just not conveniently placed. Because otherwise, as we can already see, we have two speakers on the left and two on the right for the quad speaker arrangement, and that one is quite a nice. Okay, here we have the USB Type-C along with the headphone jack. So design I like, quality I like, button arrangement not so much. Otherwise, I would say let's talk about this display, because even though it's high quality, I'm not the biggest fan of it, and even less so like compared to last year, because I'm a little bit getting sick of these calibrations or this screen modes that Samsung offers me, because adaptive display looks nice in the system and everywhere else it's great. But whenever you watch a movie or a video, it just looks completely wrong. Way too oversaturated, and yeah, then you have AMOLED Cinema or AMOLED Photo or Basic, which is nice. But the problem is that those are just way too dark and so many details get lost. And why is adaptive display the only one that allows us color balance? The other modes just don't offer us this, which is a huge bummer. Because especially if you want accurate natural pictures, you won't get this. I mean videos and so on. So otherwise, yeah, with 630 lux, absolutely top. Super bright, great blacks and colors pop. Especially like in the system, like I said, it is great. But the calibration, yeah, not so much. Okay, let's already talk about the speaker. Okay, here's the good thing about the speaker. It is quite loud, absolutely fine in all situations, even though it's not super loud. It also doesn't sound all that high quality though, quite a little bit muffled and a little bit tinny. But my actual problem is that it distorts, let's say, from about 80% and upwards. And I think at one point, actually, I blew the bottom left one, because that one distorts even more than the other ones now, and you hear some crackling. So yeah, it is what it is. The headphone jack though, absolutely good, all okay. Now let's talk about the performance, and let's end all the apps and start them to see if it loads quickly. And in terms of performance, my only issue is the one that I'm not going to tell you right about now, because let's just see how quickly it launches. All fine, okay. So the browser, absolutely fine here. Yeah, and as you have seen, this is what will happen so many times. You will just hit something. As you can see, your browsing performance, absolutely top. Smooth and buttery, but as you can already see, not always, because the problem of this device is that it just doesn't seem properly optimized, because in one moment it runs buttery smooth, absolutely top notch, and then a few moments later it just starts to lag and stutter and so on. And I think the optimization is just done quite bad, so they definitely need to fix this with a future update, because otherwise I would say the performance is at least very good, if not great. But with all those issues that come along after a few minutes and so on, sometimes until you maybe end all apps again, I can't really give it much more than a really good, because as you can see, it already starts to stutter. So for a Snapdragon 820, I would have expected a lot more. And I don't think that's the issue. It is what it is. The gaming performance though is pretty similar, but it's on a little bit of a more consistent level because you get maybe not the highest amount of frame rates, but they are usually quite stable, no real frame drops and so on. The device gets a little bit warm, but nothing to really concern about. And otherwise, I have to say you can play all the games absolutely fine, even the more demanding ones. So all is good here. Battery. A full charge, 2 hours and 35. Absolutely okay for a tablet of this size with this battery. In 10% for an hour of YouTube is also absolutely good. Not great, but good. Now though, the battery life. And the good thing is still that over the course of about 1 day you could get between 8 to maybe even 9 hours or more. But the problem is the standby drain, which won't give you all that much more if you use it for multiple days. Because already on the second day you can maybe get slightly over 7 hours, if just that. And over the course of maybe 3 or 4 days I barely got 5 hours or so. So the more days you want to use it in one row without charging it again, you will use drastically. So they should definitely improve the battery drain on standby. Otherwise, let's get into the software. We have the standard launcher here with the drawer, all okay. We have the quick settings, all okay. We have a really nice theming engine, and I definitely like that. And we have so many options. Of course, now we have dual instance, we have dual window, we have so many options. And I don't think I really need to go into all of these. But the one thing that I want to go into is the S Pen, because that one, after all, is one of the kind of important things to talk about this, which I almost have forgotten. And I have to just say that I absolutely love this S Pen for what it is, even though I properly can't use it, because as you can see, you can type so thin and you have this precision points. It's so great and it reacts so nice, and especially with the very soft and, as you can see, maybe very thin tip, you can draw so nicely and you can write, and the text recognition works absolutely flawless. It is a high quality, absolute top-notch S Pen. Definitely, if you are a fan of S Pens, you will absolutely love this one. Otherwise, what else do we have? Yeah, that's already pretty much it, I would say. So let's just jump into the pros and cons. And here I just have to call out the absolute great build quality. It is also extremely thin and lightweight, and the S Pen works brilliantly. The display is impressive, but it is not calibrated the way I would like it to. The speakers are good, but it is stored at especially higher volumes, so not all that great, otherwise better. Same goes also for the performance, because if not for the many occasions where it just starts to completely bog down, it would be very good, if not maybe almost great. But the way it is right now, it's just really good. And the same goes also for the battery life, which would also gotten a very good, if not better, if it wouldn't be for the standby drain. Otherwise, we have a feature-rich software. But as you can already see, quite a lot of cons. Because first of all, capacitive buttons on a tablet are quite inconvenient. The button placement of the volume rock and power button is a little bit unfortunate in my opinion. No display mode feels right, especially for video. In the system itself, it's absolutely fine. The pen makes an actual noise from the speaker, because whenever you write something, you will hear kind of like a scribbling sound from the speaker. So if you don't like that, because if you have that, you will also hear a lot of hissing from the speaker, you will have to turn off the volume. Then for some reason YouTube seems to max out at 720p. This could be a YouTube app issue. I've seen this on a few tablets. Sometimes it comes back again, sometimes it doesn't. So this is something that I will just leave in brackets. Otherwise, like I said, the standby drain is definitely improvable, and the system just needs optimization. And in the end, it's the value that is highly questionable, which already brings me to the conclusion. For 650 euros, I think this is just too much, because you get a slightly improved Tab S2 with an S Pen. Of course, you get a better speaker, but the display isn't actually any better. It doesn't feel any better at all to me. The buttons are still as conveniently placed or inconveniently placed. The battery life is very similar. So what you get is the S Pen. You get more speakers, but not really better ones. So for this much more money, I don't really know. If the price falls, sure. And if you need the S Pen, absolutely. But I think something is not right here. Yeah, same as here. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this review. If I forgot something, which definitely could have happened today, let me just know in the comments. And also, if you like me more crazy or not. Oh, I think this will rain dislikes like insanity. But talking about insanity, I think I have to go in the loony bin, so bye.